Hello there, welcome to Genesis Models. My name is Bobby Waldron. In this video we're going to be having a nice product review of Akan's glue here. Now this glue is basically the same as our Tamiya Extra Thin Cement and Mr. Cement S, right? It does basically the same thing, but with this one we have two versions. We have a hobby version and we have a pro version. The differences between these is the hobby version is a bit thicker than the pro version, where the pro version is that really nice thin, really good capillary action, just like you get with Tamiya Extra Thin Cement and Cement S. It's just nice that we have this option for a bit of a thicker version, for maybe whatever situation we may want to use the thicker version for. Now you know, to compare basically a bit here, what we've got here was we've got the Akan range, and this here costs about £1.20, so it is rather cheap. You get 15 mils compared to Tamiya Extra Thin Cement and Mr. Cement S. I mean, you know, it can kind of vary because you kind of basically have to get them imported from China and stuff, so you could be paying like £6 to £8 for probably either one of these bottles, depending on where you go. You know, it does vary. So and you get, I do believe it's like 40 mils in these, so I mean you could go off and buy 3 bottles of these of the Akan, you know, £3.60, and you've got 45 mils, so it is a lot cheaper. But then again, you know, it is a bit hard to find and get hold of the Akan stuff. I mean, I'll get my stuff from Greece, for instance. You guys in the US, I do think you can get hold of this stuff a lot easier. So you know, if you guys in the US, this is probably a better glue for you to get. So let's just have a quick go and a look at, you know, how this actually works. Well, first off, they come in these plastic bottles, as I say, 15 mils. Try and take the top off. Right, and as you can see, the big difference really, okay, is size. And with the Tamiya stuff, you know, you get an actual little paintbrush in there, which does kind of make it a bit more easier and a bit more efficient to take the lid off and just start gluing. Whereas with this, you got to take the lid off, you got to get your own paintbrush and so forth. But then on the other side, on the other hand, it's like you can get any kind of paintbrush that you'd like to get, which and use different paintbrushes for different sort of applications, like bigger paintbrushes for areas you don't need to worry about, and maybe get a nicer, finer paintbrush for those areas you just want to you know, keep it nice and neat. So we just dip in, get a nice bit of glue on the end of our paintbrush, and we just literally, the same as we do with a Tamiya Extra Thin Cement and Cement S, we close up the piece first and then we run it down the seam. And because the stuff is just so thin, right, it just sucks into the gaps. And then what's going to happen is it won't bond our two pieces to plastic together. What it will do is it will melt them, right? So if I just tear this, you can kind of see just inside there what's happened, right? We can see, you know, we've got all this kind of sticky stuff, and that's where it's melted the plastic and bonded it together, right? So, you know, not bad so far. It does glue rather nice and rather strong, pretty much the same. The next real test I like to do with these is to kind of do the drying test, right? Because the thing is with these kind of glues is because they melt the plastic, if we get it on, say, the surface detail, it's going to melt the surface detail, it's going to give it a rough edge, and it's going to make it look a bit naff, right? So you want it to evaporate really quickly, that anything that goes on the surface won't damage the surface and have that capillary action to get in there. So it's got the capillary action, we know that. And if you look at the Tamiya Extra Thin Cement and the Cement S product review, you'll see that the Mr. Cement S beat Tamiya Extra Thin Cement in evaporating quicker. Right, so we're going to see, and actually I haven't done this experiment, so this is the first time for me. We're going to get a drop of our Mr. Cement S and a drop of our Akan stuff, right, and we're just going to put it in one place, so you can just see which one is gonna evaporate first. Alright, hopefully, oh, a bit out of focus, alright. And there you go, as you can see, actually Mr. Cementes has already dried, it's already evaporated, and actually the can is still floating around, a bit like how Mr. Tamiya Extra Thin Cement did. So actually that kind of brings us to the question, you know, who is going to win out of Tamiya Extra Thin Cement? Let's just get my lids off and stuff. Right, we'll get a fresh piece here. Right, so I'm getting my Tamiya Extra Thin Cement and our Akan. Put about an equal drop each. Right, and hopefully you can just see, maybe give a bit of a blow to speed it up. Okay, now it's still there, as you can see. Basically they seem to have the same sort of evaporation going on there. They still haven't evaporated, but they seem to be evaporating at the same time. Hopefully, as you can see there, we've still got a little blob each. So yeah, Mr. Cementes is definitely the winner on the whole evaporation side of things. But there you go. Basically, I mean, these products are basically the same. So really, it's all down to your personal preference, really. I mean, how easy can you get hold of, you know, Tamiya Extra Thin Cement or Cementes, or, you know, as I'm showing here, the Akan range. So if you can get hold of the Akan range, they are cheaper, and it does basically the same as Tamiya Extra Thin Cement. It's just Mr. Cementes is just a little bit better in the fact that it evaporates quicker. So if you can get Mr. Cementes, you'd be better off with that. And then really, apart from that, it's whatever you can get more easier for you wherever you are in the world. So definitely a thumbs up, and definitely a recommended product there here at Genesis Models. So until next time, my name is Bobby Waldron, and I hope you've enjoyed.